Good morning, grade 5. Today, I am going to discuss about deserts. This is teacher Mildred, and this is geography grade 5. What is a desert? The driest places in the world are deserts. Deserts are dry lands where very little rain falls and where few plants can grow. Scientists usually say that an area is a desert if an average of less than 250 millimeters of rain falls each year. More than one-seventh of the land on Earth is taken up by the desert. There are two kinds of desert. Very cold deserts are found in the Arctic and Antarctic regions at the North and South Poles. The ground is covered with ice and snow for all or most of the year. Hot deserts are mostly sunny and very dry, although they can be very cold at night. The map shows where the great hot deserts and cold deserts of the world are found. Sahara Desert, Arabian Desert, and Gobi Deserts are some of the Earth's 10 largest deserts. The desert scenery. Many people think of hot deserts as being sandy, with the sand blown into hilly dunes by the wind. But in most hot deserts, the wind has blown the sand away, leaving pebbles or even bare rock. Shallow lakes form in some deserts after rain. When the water evaporates, only flat layer of salt is left. Elsewhere, there are mountains and steep, rocky slopes. Some of them have been carved and interesting shapes by the wind. The desert plants. The few plants that are able to survive in the desert have to adapt to the dry conditions. Some desert plants have long roots to reach water deep underground. A cactus plant stores water in its thick stem. As the cactus gradually uses up the water, the stem shrivels. When the next rain comes, the cactus stores more water. Desert animals. Few animals live in the desert. Those that can survive get the water they need from their food. Most of them sleep during the day and come out only at night when it is cooler. The best known desert animal is the camel. A camel can go a long time without drinking water. It can lose about one-third of the weight of its body and still live. Then, when the camel does find water, it can drink 115 liters or more in a few minutes. How a camel has adapted to life in the desert. It has thick eyebrows and two rows of eyelashes to keep out of the sand. It has also slit nostrils to keep out the sand, a stomach that can store lots of water, wide feet to stop it sinking into the sand, a hump with fat that can be turned into food, and a thin coat so it does not get too hot. The desert peoples. In most parts of the world, there is a lot of water under the ground. This is known as groundwater. Each time it rains, some of the water seeps down into the ground where it fills all the cracks and openings in the rocks below. Often, it is possible to dig a well to reach this water. Desert oases. In deserts, most of the water from rain is lost. It either runs off the hard, dry surface or evaporates into the air. A little of it soaks into the ground where it may eventually join underground rivers and streams. Some of these rivers and streams bring water from mountains hundreds of kilometers away where there is heavy rainfall or snow. In a few places, water from these underground rivers or streams flows to the surface of the desert. The water forms a spring or water hole, making the land fertile so plants can grow. This is called an oasis. A river flowing through a desert may have long oases along its banks. Oasis peoples. Towns and villages are built around oases and water holes in the desert. The people who live in an oasis village make use of every bit of fertile land. In the oasis of the Sahara Desert, for example, the people grow food plants such as vegetables, dates, olives, and apricots. They keep cattle, sheep, and goats for their meat and milk. Who are the nomadic people? People who live in oases are not the only people who live in the desert. Wanderers or nomads also live there. Some of the Bedouin of the Sahara and Arabian deserts are nomads. They travel from one oasis to another, driving their herds of sheep and goats in front of them. The sheep and goats feed on the scattered desert plants. Because it is so hot during the day, the Bedouin often travel at night when it is cool and rest during the daytime. Much of the time, the Bedouin live mainly on camel's milk, cheese, and dates. They visit oases to exchange meat, skins, and handicrafts for tea, dates, rice, and other foods. They also let their camels drink water there. Some of the Mongol people of the Gobi Desert in Asia are also nomads. The nomadic Mongols are herdsmen keeping horses, sheep, cattle, goats, and camels. They ride short-legged, long-haired horses when they round up or drive their herds of animals. Today, many of the Bedouin and Mongol people have been encouraged to change to a more settled existence. This is partly because governments find it difficult to control people when they travel around, crossing from one country to another. And that's the end of the lesson about the deserts.